At the beginning of the Cold War, fear of communism was at a high. There had also been a Red Scare after World War I, but this time was different. Now, Russia was a victorious power and a rival to the United States militarily. The second Red Scare, led by Senator Joe McCarthy, needed an official body for its persecutions. In fact, though, this story starts before World War II. The House Un-American Activities Committee, or HUAC, was formed in 1938 to investigate not only communist but also fascist influences in the United States. It remained low profile until 1947 when it investigated Hollywood stars, who became known as the Hollywood 10, on dubious charges. They were imprisoned for so-called contempt of Congress, aka not wanting to answer ridiculous questions publicly in front of the House of Representatives. Many more in Hollywood were blacklisted for apparent Soviet sympathies, making it impossible for them to get roles for seeming un-American. At first, support for the committee was high, and no one wanted to be accused of being a communist. Even an accusation was incredibly damaging to one's career. As it continued, though, it got more and more criticism from Americans. While some legitimate arrests were made, such as those of Alger Hiss and the Rosenbergs in 1950, the vast majority of their claims were totally bogus and their investigations violated the First Amendment, as people could be put on trial for simply speaking out. By targeting labor unions and even the scientific community, the committee was seen as, quote, a claque of clowns. Fear of communism did not wane, but respect for the committee did, and many saw its work as a joke. One of the so-called clowns, future President Richard "I am not a crook" Nixon, felt that they were doing important work for the country and never announced his role in the Alger Hiss case. However, once McCarthy died in 1957, so did most of the influence of McCarthyism, which then-President Dwight D. Eisenhower despised and called its supporters book burners. Coming from the general who orchestrated D-Day and was all but unassailable politically, the Second Red Scare lost steam. HUAC was officially abolished in 1975 after a long and slow decline into insignificance and a name change in 1969. A product of early Cold War tensions, it remains a scar in the history of the House of Representatives, an embarrassment which could never be repeated during such peaceful and normal times as right now. Oh.